The Gilded Age was a time between the 1870s to about 1900 where there was a lot of corruption but also a lot of economic growth. And with this growth, there was more labor violence, rising racial tension, militants against farmers, etc. Starting with the reason why farmers became this way is because there were a lot of new inventions during this time. The light bulb, phonograph, typewriter, etc. And some of these new inventions involved farming. And with this new boom in technology, many things for farmers popped up, such as increased competition, overly saturated markets, and falling prices for their products. There are many reasons for the big economic boom during this time. One of those reasons being the nation's total wealth was $88 billion. This translated into a per capita increase from 500 to 1,100. In 1869, there was an explosion in American manufacturing. This sector of the economy generated $3 billion and rose to 13 billion by 1900, and the American labor force increased from 13 million people to 19 million people. The Progressive Era was a time period between the 1890s through the 1920s in which there was a widespread social activism and political reform happening across the U.S. This whole movement aimed to eliminate the problems caused by industrialization, urbanization, immigration, and corruption in the government. This piece of propaganda right here has many different meanings to it. To start off, the man operating the machine is not anybody in particular, but he's a stereotype of the businessmen of the time and what they did during this time. Having created many new jobs, but they paid very little, gave long work hours to their employees, and cared very little what conditions the employees work under. The big bold letters that I'd say high rent involved the tenements, which were poorly made, overcrowded housing spaces, and because they were so poorly made and stuffed, this often led to many different diseases being contracted. The sash that the businessman is wearing is a correlation to the Pullman strike of May 11th, 1894. It occurred at the Pullman Railroad after thousands of workers' wages were cut by 25%, and this eventually led to a shutdown of the entire nation's railway system. The words on the top of the crushed man had no deeper meaning than their actual definition. The text in the bottom left refers to what the labor unions would do. They would use labor strikes to get what they wanted, which sometimes would happen, but most times led to violence. The changes that were made to the Constitution were as follows. The government had the opportunity to expand and fund programs. That was the 16th Amendment. The next one was that the process of electing senators by popular vote. That was the 17th Amendment. That was passed in 1913. The 18th Amendment, ratified in 1919, prohibited the manufacture, sale, or transportation of alcohol. And the final one is the 19th Amendment, which allowed women to vote. It's obvious to see who benefited from these amendments. Women could finally vote, and with the 16th Amendment, people could sleep easier because before this, people were concerned with the increasing private wealth of the government. To conclude,
Hey! I told your ass to get off that GameCube 15 minutes ago!
Dad,
what are you doing?
Dad,
I'm gonna get this belt out and whoop
Dad,
your ass.
please! Dad!
Get over here!
Dad, no! Dad, no!